welcome to another episode of Minutes with Me. I'm Bonchran Fitness, and this is Daniel Ashmead.
What's happening?
Ashmead Fitness. So, Christmas is coming.
Ho, ho, ho.
You know what that means? We're going to feast. We're going to feast. So today's topic is mindsets, right? You know, it's not just about the guns. It's about the brains too, right? That go with it, right? The brains and the biceps, right? I actually heard there's a quote. Every morning I usually have a quote of the day, and I saw one that said, you know, it's important to, I forgot the word of it, but it was just like, it's important to have success or something, or some kind of success, or aspect of success, but biceps are a lot more importanter.
Importanter.
That's what I saw in the quote. So,
dumb jocks.
Yeah. And anyways, 7 important mindsets to have for your long-term success. And I'm going to go through it and go from there. And then if you guys have any questions or concerns, leave the comment below. Please subscribe, like, and comment, and share, right? Most important is share.
Sharing is caring.
Exactly. And so number 1 is self-discovery, right? And self-discovery is just, it's a long ongoing process. And, you know, it's just about growing. It's about learning. It's about making mistakes and seeing what your strengths are, seeing what your weaknesses are, right? What you're good at, what you're not good at. And, you know, it's okay to suck at something. It's okay, you know, to try new things and see what you actually are passionate about, see what you enjoy, what you like, right? And that's what self-discovery is all about. And, you know, it's not the same as self-mastery. That's something else, but self-discovery is just about exploring, right? Just like how you want to travel the world, right? Obviously, we can't do that right now, but, you know, it's just about discovering things that you never thought you could do, right? For example, I went to Mexico by myself. I did not think I could do that. Just go solo and just travel and not worry about anything. Was I afraid?
Yes.
Heck yeah. But I just did it anyways, and I had the courage to do it. But yeah. What about you, Daniel?
Okay, we'll go one for one. I will say would be grit and persistence, because it will always be challenging. Even when things are great, that will be challenging. When you have more clients that you can deal with, when your business is growing, when you have all this money, when you're successful, it is also challenging because you don't want to become complacent. You don't want to become, how do I deal with all this new business in such a short period of time? You don't want to become lazy and complacent because, you feel like you're successful. But 90% of it will be grit and boring. It will be day-to-day, grueling, challenging stuff, monotony, not fun, sacrifice. But that's what builds character, and that's what keeps you strong. So you need to be like granite. You need to be like a diamond at the end of it all, right? The more pressure you put on coal becomes a diamond. So grit and persistence, people. Embrace it. You don't have to love it, but you need to accept it.
Exactly. And then moving on, you are 100% responsible for your life, your success, and you got to do your own thing, right? You gotta define what your standards are, and you gotta define what success means to you, right? It doesn't matter what that person thinks or that person thinks. What matters is what you think and what you think is successful, because everyone could be in a room, in a conference room, and be like, if I ask each one of them, what does success mean to you? Everyone's going to have a different answer, but some of them could be similar,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's just about being fully responsible for your actions, right? Your decisions, right? And for your own success, right? And it's all about going after what you think is success, right? Remember, it's all you are the asset, and you are 100% responsible for your own actions, your life, and success.
And even to go deeper would be, even if things aren't your fault, it's still your responsibility. Even if you have a client or, a business partner or something that somebody did you wrong, you are responsible for that. You can't blame anybody else. You're responsible for the outcome, what you're going to do to solve that. Perfect example, my daughter, she had a pet, and, one of her friends took her pet. It was a little salamander, and the friend played with it and left it out of the cage. Next thing you know, she lost a salamander. So I'm trying to explain to her. She says, well, it's not my fault. It's not my fault that they took the salamander out of the cage. I said, you're right, but it is your responsibility because it is your pet. So even if somebody else did something wrong, another thing for me, right? I work with clients and I work with other trainers. I want one of my trainers to do a specific thing. I followed up to see if they did it. They didn't do it. So what do? I'm taking responsibility and I'm doing it myself. I'm not going to just hound this trainer and say, look, I told you you're supposed to do this, blah, blah, blah. No, it is my responsibility to take care of that client. That client came to me first and I recommended this trainer. So therefore, whatever happens, it is my responsibility. So you need to take 100% ownership of whatever happens, good or bad.
100% agree.
100%.
Hundo. Number the next one, number 3. Life is not perfect, right? So you're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs, right? That's the way life operates, right? And I mentioned this in our last episode, but like, with weight loss, the weight loss journey, right, and our non-scale victories, right, you're gonna have your journey is full of disappointments. If you expect the disappointments, or you expect that life's gonna hit you, then you won't be surprised. You won't feel like, oh, it happened, right? And it's just gonna happen, right? And you will have these ups and downs. You will have good weeks, bad workouts, good workouts, right? Good months, right? Just like in business, you're gonna have really good months, and then sometimes not so good months, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've all had it. Daniel's had it. I've had it. And what you do is just like in the last thing we just talked about. You take full responsibility for it, and you take action, and you just go for it. You just keep going and you don't give up.
Right. It does. I agree. So I guess we're going to have to be honest, and we're going to say this is going to be more than 7, because I'm going to tap into some of mine, because
Yeah.
what I did is I've read about, a lot of books. So last year, I think it was 2019, was it? I put a note out. Bond was part of it, which was amazing. And every month we had like this book club. And I asked my friends to, suggest certain books. So once a month, every month, I read a different book and I suggested a different book. And then out of all of those books that I've read, I found out the most common themes and the most talked about themes and actions and mindsets throughout all the books. So my next one for you would be, you are the product of the top 5 people that you're around the most. So that people, your friends, your family, it is way more important and it's way more vital to your life than you really recognize. So just know who is around you, and do you want to be like those people? That doesn't mean all of them have to be amazing and stuff, but I always love this quote. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, right? You always want to be around people who will bring you value, who you want to be like, who encourage you, who support you, who engage you, energize you, right? Who you can lean on, and will always make you better, and you can make them better as well. So really choose the people around you the most wisely.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more. Next one. Every challenge, obstacle is asking for growth, right? And you have to move through it, right? You have to go through it and grow for it, right? For yourself, right? And just like we just talked about, right? It's just about um, growing, learning, making mistakes, and going through the grit, right? Just like you said, it's if you don't have any challenges, how can you expect to grow? How can you expect to get to the next level, right?
Right.
And every level, and you hear this all the time in entrepreneurship, like every level that you're trying to hit will always demand a new you, right?
Yes.
So it's all about leveling up.
Yeah.
Level up your game, your finance game, everything, right? And if you're having challenges in some parts of your business or even some parts of your life, right? That's where you need to work on, and that's where you're going to take that aspect or that situation to the next level, right? Whether it's business, your relationship, your health, your physical, right? Your mental health, right? And your thinking, right? It's all demanding a new you. um Dan?
And I like to add on that one, which is kind of weird. Um, Success sabotages success. Believe it or
Yeah.
not, when you're successful, that can be the most detrimental thing to you, because you feel you've made it, you feel you at the top. But like Bon always says, you always have to level up, you always have to strive to get more. So even if you feel you are successful, you can't stop, because you are, but you're not. Yes, celebrate what you did, but there is still more to do. And
Mhm.
even if you're great, you have to stay at the top. So being successful, sometimes put in this mindset that that I'm there and I don't have to work as hard and I can just coast. But you should never coast. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, um, Amazon, what's his name? Come on. Jeff Bezos.
Jeff
Those
Bezos,
guys
yeah.
have made it. They have made it. And then some. The richest man in the world. And he is still striving for more. Elon Musk, the second richest man in the world. The guy's trying to save lives. The guy's trying to, create microchips to stop, people from being paralyzed and like cure Alzheimer's. Bezos is trying to bring a spaceship to the moon. He's trying to do all these crazy things. And that's what drives them, because even though they're successful, they still want more. And we always have to still want more. Bonnie, keep talking. I'm sorry, guys. I have to find the plug-in for my computer before I die. But Bon, keep moving on to the next one. We're keeping it real, people. This is
All
what
right,
happens.
sounds good.
Technology problems.
Peace out. Peace out. All right, so the next one is it's okay to suck at something in the beginning, right? It's like a sport, right? If you think about the last time you tried something new, or you started something, right? Whether it doesn't even have to be about sports. It could be cooking. It could be art, right? Painting, anything that you're gonna start new, right? You're gonna suck, right? For example, I started karate, and back in October 2018, I believe. Yeah, and I thought I knew how to fight. No, no, I definitely suck. But that's the thing. You have to suck before you get good, and then before you get good, you can get great, right? But it's a process, right? You got to learn all the foundational stuff. Welcome back.
I'm back.
You got to learn all the foundational and basics first before you can get to learning the other stuff, right? But Even another example is dance, right? I used to learn dance from this Mexican teacher, and she taught me um, bachata and like salsa and stuff like that. But
Salsa,
man,
salsa, salsa, salsa.
my hips just were so tight, they wouldn't like move. Like they were so tight, and man, like I had such a hard time with it. I struggled so much. Um, and she had to like literally grab my hips to like move it in the right direction that it was supposed to. But and I was like sweating too, and it was very difficult. And you know, but don't be afraid to try new things. You know, there's a quote. You know, every expert was once a beginner, right? So why not you? And why can't you start something and suck at it and then just build on from it, right? You're gonna get better as you get those reps in, right? Even lifting is a sport, right? You're gonna suck in the beginning. You may feel lost, right? But you just have to keep going and figure it out. It's having that figure out mentality that you're gonna learn it, you're gonna grow through it, you're gonna see what the do's and don'ts are, and then you go from there, right? If anything, you need extra help, you just ask for help, right?
That's perfect to my next segue into that. First one would be, yes, you're going to suck at everything first, but fail hard, fail fast, and fail early. You're going to fail, people. We all have to fail. There's no such thing as just constantly succeeding. Every billionaire, every successful person has probably been bankrupt more than once. And it's true, period. But fail early. So try everything. And you want to fail as hard and as early as you can, because perfect example, Bezos has lost more money than most billionaires have made in their lives. Think about that. He has lost more money and failed at more things than some millionaires have created in their lives, right? But
Mm-hmm.
look at him now. He started first and he failed at everything. Company after company. Same thing with Musk. Same. I really idolize, as you can tell, a lot of these guys. I don't really want to be like them, but you got to understand they all, like I said, have these same principles that Bon and I are trying to explain to you. They're all the same things. Every successful person, we all follow the same code, right? And it's not that hard. And one of them is, yeah, you got to fail. You got to fail hard. You got to fail fast. You got to try stuff and you got to fail at it. And that's great. Pick yourself up. Don't do it again. Learn from your mistakes. And the second one that Bond says with the ask for help is, find what you're good at and what you do to make it rain, your money maker stuff, what you're a master at, and hire somebody else to do everything else. When you really want to grow and you really want to be successful and you really want to, um, not grow, but just multiply and become big, you can't do everything else. You shouldn't do everything else. That's not a smart business model. What you want to do is surround yourselves with amazing people that can support you to do what you want them to do, right? I can't be a great trainer and a salesperson and marketing and, budgeting and accounting and advertising and all that kind of stuff together. I would be burnt out and I would do most of them terrible. All I do well is sell personal training and train my clients. I have a wonderful wife that does everything else for me. So, people, when you get to that level and it's time to grow and time to get bigger and expand, that's when it's time to hire people, ask for help. You should not be doing everything else yourself, even to the point of get someone to do your laundry, get somebody to cook your food, get somebody to clean your house, right? If you want to really focus on something to perfect it, it needs all of your time. If you're too busy doing dishes, cleaning the house, doing stuff with your car, like this guy, Bond has his quotes in the morning. I listen to a person called Darren Hardy. He gives me a Darren Daily every morning, first thing. He
He has good
literally
books too.
hires, yeah, he literally hires someone to do everything for him. He does not cook. He does not clean. Everything he pays somebody to do. Why? So he can perfect his craft, because he knows what he's amazing at. And that's why he's so fantastic at what he does, because he's not distracting himself with mediocre things that he's kind of good at, that he probably doesn't even like doing.
Mm-hmm.
Learn what you're great at, hire everybody else to do everything else.
No, exactly. Man, I gotta get myself a wife. Oh god. I'm lacking the. Anyways, moving on. And my last one is action leads to excellence. Right? How are you gonna get to the next level? And everything that we just talked about is through this last essential thing. Is
You got to do.
you gotta do. You gotta take action. You gotta. Um. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how to put it any more simpler. Is just doing and going through the grind and taking action. Like there's a thing called action cures fear. If you do have fear, right, take action because it's the cure to your fears. Right?
Mm-hmm.
When you have fear and doubt, just take action. Right? I learned that from a billionaire, right? And he said that action cures fear. Anything to add to that?
Because fear, I love it, because fear literally is just a emotion, right? There's fear, then there is danger. And a lot of times we put those two things together as one, and they're not, right? Danger is someone you're riding a motorcycle without a helmet way too fast in a rainstorm. That's dangerous. But you're also fearful because it's scary. But talking in front of a crowd or doing something for the first time or going on vacation by yourself, those things aren't dangerous, but they're also can be very scary and very fearful. But that's all emotion. And like Bon said, he put action to it and he worked through it. And then the more you do it, the less scary it becomes. As we've all realized, most of the things that we do that is scary is always scary before you do them, right? Before I go on stage, or if I'm going to do a presentation or I'm going to do a consultation, my heart's beating. But as soon as you do it, as soon as action becomes, the fear goes away. You're doing it. There's no reason to be feared because you're experiencing the event. You're doing the event. So you can't be afraid of it anymore because you're doing it, like Bon said. So yes, action cures fear, because all that what if, what happens, what's going to happen fear goes away because you're actually doing it.
Yeah.
Which I love.
And like an example is it also breeds confidence too,
Yeah.
right? In what you're doing. Like I remember in karate, I had to punch through um, a wooden plate thing. I don't even know how to describe it, but yeah, you've seen it. But yeah, it's just a board, a wall, a wood board, right? You
Mm-hmm.
gotta punch through it, right? And like it felt so good to punch through it once I did, and it took 3 tries. Like it hurt. I was like, oh my poor knuckles. But like when you break through it, like I didn't even think I could do it, but with more action, more reps, and I punched through it and I broke through the wood. I felt instantly like more confident in what I was doing in my performance and how I felt, and I felt like I could take over the world at that point.
Totally.
You know?
Totally. And and that's why a lot of them people say, do something every day that scares you. Start to dull that fear, because then when a lot of these people who are great speakers and stuff, they're very introverted and they're very scared, like they are, but the fear doesn't stop them. I watched this amazing documentary about these surgeons over this weekend, and the guy says fear doesn't stop him. The fear turns him into the most fierce lion because of his fear. So he uses that fear and channels it to make him a superb surgeon, right? Cutting into somebody's brain. Yes, that is extremely fearful, but is he going to cower and make a mistake? No, he's going to use that fear to channel it, to make him concentrate, to make sure he has to do the thing as best as he could, which is great. Okay, I got a couple more. The next one I love, 10,000 hours mastery rule. With anything that we do, the rule is it takes about 10,000 hours for you to master any skill. People in symphonies, the Beatles, Michael Jordan, anyone that you know has done 10,000 hours plus. That's about 10 hours a week for 20 years of whatever they do to master what you do. So you don't ever think that you're going to be the best at it now. You'll be the best at it 20 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to keep doing what you do. The 80-20 rule, 80% of your success will come from 20% of the work and your clients that you do. It's actually a mathematical phenomenon that's true in everything in life. So 80% of whatever you want will always come from 20% of the work that you do. So find out what that 20% is and focus on that. Okay. So for example, to make that make more sense, with me and my sales, what they're saying is I could have 20 different clients, but I'm going to have 2 to 4 that are the consistent ones that are really the ones that are paying my bills. And the other 6 to 8 are kind of driving you crazy and give you headaches here and there, which is true. And once you start to narrow down that 20 and keep it a tight 20, those 20 are going to make sure that you generate your business and make yourself grow and make yourself scale. Okay. Bon always loved this one. Start with why. Why do you do what you do? You know, why am I doing this? Why am I making this decision? Why am I going there? Why do I want to train this client? Why am I charging this? Why do I think I'm a great trainer? Why do I think I'm worth this much? Always start with why. Okay. And do everything with intention and with mindfulness. And I really got this one from a lot of the books that I've read in terms of mindful eating and fasting and stuff, right? A lot of people, we do things just, most people's lives is just, reaction. You wake up, there's no plan, you hit an alarm, you go to a job to make a paycheck to pay a bill. What am I doing today? I don't know. You're just floating around, you're just reacting, you're just going through life. There's no intention, there's no mindfulness, right? What do? I wake up, I pre-plan my clients from the night before. I wake up intentionally, make sure I have my shake. I know I'm going to train 3 clients. I'm going to work out a certain time. I have it planned. Then I'm going to make my other clients after. Then I'm going to come home. I'm going to eat. I'm going to make sure I say hello to my daughter. And then if my other one still is awake, I'm going to see her. I'm going to make sure I spend time with my wife. I'm going to plan out what shows I'm going to watch with the wifey and what shows I'm going to watch by myself. Every single day is planned out. What I'm going to eat, when I'm going to eat it. There is no day in my life that is reacting, even if it's a bad day, even if it's Saturday. Saturday, I'm going to Harvey's. Saturday, I'm getting a double Angus burger with bacon, and I'm getting 6 Subway cookies, and I'm having a bag of chips. But you know what? It is planned, people. Everything in my life is planned to the T. There is never a day where I just wake up and what am I going to do today? Right? And that's what you guys have to do. That's what we have to do. Every day needs to be intentional. And every day has to be mindful. That's why a lot of us have issues with food, because you're eating mindlessly. You're not planning out your meals. You're not planning out, I know I'm going to be on the road for 3 hours today, so I'm not going to be able to have something to eat. So I should, bring a shake with me. Or maybe I'll schedule out, there's a good spot on the way there that I can get some breakfast food, which won't be so bad. So you're not just in the car mindlessly going to your next appointment. All of a sudden you're starving and then you just hit a McDonald's or you hit a Burger King or you hit something that's not so good for you because you're reactive, right? Same thing with business, same thing with decisions that you're making. When I do a consultation, I plan out my consult. I know what I want to charge. I know what questions I'm going to have. I know what they're thinking, what they're going to do, what objections they might have. I know their lifestyle. So I go in there with a plan. Always have a plan, right? The more planned that you are, the more successful you will be with everything in your life. And I know Bond's the same. He is just as rigid with his life as me. I know he hates it, but he'll still work out his 5 o'clock. Everything is planned out in his life. And it's funny because he probably doesn't even realize it as much as I know that he does. You probably just think, oh yeah, it's my regular day. But you plan everything out, right? There's no day that you have that's just, even a day that is Sunday where I don't want to do work. What do you say? I plan not to work today, right? That's what you say. I plan to not do anything today. So that was part of your plan.
Yeah.
So guys, mindfulness and intention.
Right.
Why are you doing these things? Right? And if the answer for the why isn't good, don't do it.
Yeah. and to add on to that, John Maxwell, if you guys don't know John Maxwell, search him out. He's a boss.
Great.
But yeah, John Maxwell says, with good intentions, it's not good enough. It has to come from good actions.
Action.
Then it's something.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And even like, what do they say? You know, it's not reading something that makes you a master. It's doing it, right? You can read 100 books, but why read 100 books when you can read one book 100 times, a really good book 100 times, and master that book and practice everything in that book that actually makes you successful? Most people just read 100 books and have all these ideas and do nothing, right? But that's why this next year in 2021, 2021, I'm not reading any new books. I'm rereading every book that I read in the past 2 years. And that's what I'm going to commit to, because every book, like, I've realized they all say the same kind of thing. So I'm finding the right authors that really speak to me and I really resonated with. And I'm going to re-listen, because I don't read, as my wife says, I listen to books. So I'm going to listen to the books again when I travel for the stuff to really to sink in, right? Get 2 to 5 really good books. You don't need 20. 2 to 5 of them. Read them all 10 times. Make notes, highlight, underline, dog ear the pages, and do what they tell you to do. They're not writing this stuff for you to just be entertained. They're writing this stuff because they did it and it works. So you should do it too.
Yeah. And it's a matter of impact. Right? That's all it is. It's a matter of impact in your life, and you're learning from people who've done it, who are successful, and you might as well study people who are, like, if you want to be rich, you study rich people.
Yeah.
You want to be successful, you study successful people, right? It's that simple.
It is. And we're really blessed in this day and age where information is free and it's abundant. And we have so many people that actually care and are giving us these secrets of their success, telling us the mistakes that they've made. So why not take that and really do something with it, right? Like, they poured their heart and their souls and their failures and the successes out for us to read, and they made themselves vulnerable and transparent. And then we can see the fruits of their labor. So they're not lying. It's there. You can see it, right? So why not take that and imply that in ourselves, because the same outcomes will happen for us.
Yeah. And 2021 is right there. So make sure to take notes in the books, right? Listen, read, whatever. Do what you got to do, but learn these new information and apply it, right? It's good to learn, but it's more important to learn and apply.
Yes.
And I lost my thought, but that's okay. What I was gonna say was, it's a great start to 2021, and now is the time to change your mindset if you wanted to change, right? And change is always good. It's like your exercise routine, right? If you do the same thing, you're not gonna grow or change, transform the body, right? So the 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 mind also is the same thing, right? You got to shock the body. You got to change your mindset and level up to the next level, right? And this is why,
level up.
Yeah, that song, and
level up.
And that's why I wanted to talk about mindset, and the motivation has to come within you. So that's all I got, guys. That's all I got. All right, we will see you guys next week on the next episode of Minutes with Me. I'm Bontran Fitness, and this is
Ashmead Fitness. Daniel Ashmead. Boom.
Boom.
Take care, people.
All right, take care, guys.
Later.
Next Sunday.
Bye.